Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025. That is Torah every single weekday morning with friends from all over the world, including Amy and Jonathan. Anava, it's good to see all of you. Let's see who else is here. Andrew. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope that you are staying safe in the snow, enjoying it through your window. Good morning. Good morning, Jonathan and John, Boker, Toe, Linda. Good morning, kind soul. I hope it is not snowing where you are. Debbie, sending love to Colorado. Carl. Ariel, my love. Hi. Guys, Ariel's here. Nice to see you. Lydia and John. Jack and Amy. Amy sending love to you in Iowa. Nice to see you. Linda, sending love all the way to White Plains. Penny and Amy, Ashley. Penny, thank you for reminding us it's broadcast 1453. Let's see who else is here. Dave and Minna, Cecile and Karen, good morning. Light snow in Brooklyn. All right. Michelle and Judy, Deborah and Dave, good to see you. Carl, it's lightly snowing in Jersey. All right, well, it is a wonderland outside my window. Thank God, and I say this with real gratitude for the warmth of our home. Hope that everyone is staying safe. Scott and Arlene, Siona, good morning. Okay, hi Eileen. Let's take a breath. Fabrice, sending love to you in Paris. Hi Robin, hope you're well. Deborah, sending love to you in the Bay. Hi Natalie. Your son-in-law's birthday, Natalie, is today. Happy birthday to him. Today's Torah is for him. Arlene, good to see you. Hi, Diane. Let's sing a bracha. Ya la 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 la, hi la la la, today ya la 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 la. Ay, la, la, la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav לעשות בדברי תורה, לעשות בדברי תורה, הפוך בה והפוך בה, לעשות בדברי תורה. Today I lie. Today I lie. So good morning, everybody. It's good to see all of you. Can I ask a favor? I'm getting a few notes letting me know that the sound isn't quite working and the video is frozen. Let me know if you're able to see. Just type it in either on Instagram or on Facebook. That would be useful information. I don't know what I can do about it, but at least I would get to know. Peter, you are on a training for volunteers. Bless you for doing good work in the world. And Natalie, thanks for letting us know that his name is Paul. Happy birthday to Paul. A lot of stuff is happening in the world, not just the snow. But what I wanted to do, thank you for letting me know, Susie, is good. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, good. I'm getting affirmation that our technology is working. Apologies for those who are having a hard time. I wish I had more control to make our connection even stronger. Let's focus on the Parsha because that is busy enough and might even prove useful for the things that are happening in our world. So let's look at it. In our Parsha, there is a very, very intense moment. Parshat Vayigash begins with Judah coming close to Joseph. A little bit of the context. Joseph has basically set a trap for his brothers, a test to see if they have learned anything since their childhood, when they abandoned him, worse, threw him into a pit, hurt their father by lying and saying that Joseph was killed, caused enormous grief and rupture. Joseph certainly wasn't an easy brother to be around, but that is a far cry from violence. They were violent brothers. And Joseph, through what he will understand later as God's plan, complicated though that may be, is subject to degradation after degradation, thrown into jail in Egypt until he ascends because of his ability to interpret dreams. And when he interprets Pharaoh's dreams correctly, he ascends to be second in charge and actually saves the world. The known universe has a center in Egypt, and Egypt, because of Joseph's interpretations of the dreams God sent, he ascends to a position of power where eventually, because the famine reaches far and wide, his brothers come representing the family, and they beg for bread. And he subjects them to a terrible trial, an ordeal where they will now have the chance to abandon the younger brother, the only other child of Rachel. Rachel had two children. One is Joseph, who they believe is lost. One is Benjamin. Now, Benjamin is known actually by two names. Jacob, his father, called him Ben-Oni, the son of my pain, because Rachel died in childbirth. Yosef was known as abundance. But Benjamin and Joseph represent something incredibly precious to their father because they're the only remainders from the wife that he loved. Now that is complicated, especially in our modern eyes, because it's complicated. The Torah has a notion of polygamy, of more than one wife per husband. In the year 1000, Jewish tradition forbade that. The famous Takanav Rabbeinu Gershom said, even though in the Torah it is evident and allowed, it is not allowed anymore. Relationships are always complicated. And for Jacob, Benjamin and Joseph represent something that is fragile, and he's already lost, he believes, half of this. He lost their mother, he lost Joseph. All he has left is Benjamin. Judah comes close to Joseph and begs for mercy in this test, showing actually that something has changed. And eventually, Joseph breaks down, crying. And I want to read this one moment where he and Benjamin, Rachel's sons, embrace. The Hebrew for this is chapter 45, verse 14 of Bereshit, of Genesis. Vayipol al tzavrei Binyamin achiv vayefk, uVinyamin bacha al tzavarav. Now you can't see the Hebrew, but trust me, there's something strange in it. Here's the English. With that, he, meaning Joseph, embraced his brother Benjamin around the neck and wept, and Benjamin wept on his, meaning Joseph's neck. They wept on each other's neck. But the Hebrew is strange, and the rabbis pick up on this. Tzavrei is the first word that means neck, and then tzavarav is the second time that the same word is used. In both times, both occasions, it's in the plural. It seems to be saying, actually, with that, Joseph embraced Benjamin's necks, and Benjamin embraced Joseph's necks, which is obviously very strange. The rabbis pick up on this, and in the Talmud, there's this very interesting read. I'll just read it to you. It's from Masechet Megillah, the book of Talmud called Megillah, page 16b. Joseph fell upon the neck, tzavrei, of his brother Benjamin and wept. So this is what they say. Did Benjamin have two necks? Rather, we should understand it like this. Rabbi Elazar ben Padat said, Joseph saw through the divine spirit that two temples were destined to be built in Benjamin's portion and were destined to be destroyed. Benjamin's territory eventually in ancient Canaan, in ancient land of Israel, was inclusive of what we now know as Jerusalem. And so, according to the Talmud, this is not the biblical text, Joseph saw and Benjamin saw. What did Benjamin see? That in Jerusalem there would be two temples destroyed. So he cried on Joseph's neck because he saw that there would be pain in Joseph's future. And what did Benjamin see? Benjamin saw that the tabernacle in Shiloh, an area that would be within the tribe of Ephraim, that's Joseph's child, was destined to be fashioned in Joseph's portion and was destined to be destroyed. I just want to let this in for a second. They each saw that there would be a temple built in each other's territories, and they cried for each other. They knew that there would be pain in their lives, and so they cried for each other. Something I wrote about this some time ago. Joseph wasn't only crying for his own pain. And it's important to remember this, given who Joseph was beforehand. In childhood, he only saw his own experience. He didn't notice other people's pain. He seemed to not see it. His brothers couldn't even say hello to him in childhood, and he couldn't see it. And their father, Shamar Tadavar, Jacob didn't intervene. There was not an acknowledgement of the pain of the other. It was all the self expressing itself in the beginnings of the story. Joseph cried here for Benjamin's descendants' pain, and Benjamin similarly cried for Joseph's descendants' pain. In the encounter, they experienced each other. In this embrace, they experienced each other, the beginnings of reconciliation between two vulnerable selves. An early echo of what Martin Buber actually called for, from proposing the unity of being. That's not the way to be. We're not all going to be the same. Buber said, you're not going to be the same. If you want to be together, you have to recognize that relationships require tending, and that there's something called the dialogical nature of existence. I can only fully exist if I acknowledge that I am not all that exists. Benjamin and Joseph hug each other. They hug each other. It's a moment of melting, not a moment of unifying. They don't suddenly become the same person. They don't suddenly say our history is the same and our future is the same. They don't say that, but they cry for each other's experiences, past, present, and, according to the rabbis, future. That kind of boundedness, kind of connectivity, a devotion to each other. It doesn't erase the self. It sees clearly beyond the self, and it is seen clearly by another. This is a hard lesson to learn. We're in a moment where this skill is woefully absent, especially in public, where people really call out their own experiences and imagine that their pain is the only one that exists, the only one that requires tending. We're bigger than that. Joseph and Benjamin show us the way. They were bigger than that. And think about everything that they had been through. They recognize, even in this moment of togetherness, that the future is not going to be simple. It never really is. But what a gift, what a gift, what a gift to see them hug. I would bless us in this moment of world history, this moment of Jewish history, that we should really try to find ways to hug again, to be bigger than we've been, to melt on each other's shoulders, knowing that the future is not going to be simple. The past certainly hasn't been. And this present moment is definitely not simple, but we can still hold each other. It takes a lot of healing. A lot of healing. We've inherited so much stuff. And the future's not going to be simple for our descendants. Maybe we could demonstrate in this moment of our history something we learned from Benjamin and Joseph. There's a way. There is a way. Let's send our hearts to the east, friends. Let's sing. Kol hod balevav pnima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia od lo avda tikvateinu התקווה בת שנות 2000 להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים להיות עם חופשי בארצנו ארץ ציון וירושלים. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends.